he's kind of in that star player scenario where he's a solo laner, he gets talked about a lot. He has about the least amount of ego that I've ever seen. Like from a player in that position, he is unassuming, he is open, he will talk to just about anyone to share his ideas. He's so unassuming in his whole posture and in his social dealings with everyone, and yet he's that good.
Well, let's not forget, he was almost a reject throughout his career. Like when he was on Team Liquid, you know, sorry, not Team Liquid, Team Dignitas, they had issues, you know, in the team where, unfortunately for Wubby, he was the one that was cut because they felt like he didn't have the drive.
What did they call him again, Kalaris?
Wubby was the problem.
Oh, right.
I don't think that was the... Anyway, the point is, look at where he was then, and now he is a world champion. That mentality changed, Skimmy.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how suddenly the chemistry, just that collection of teams, we always talk about the roster apocalypse that tends to happen after big tournaments, whether that be regional or international, when teams starting to gain a little bit more maturity where they feel we don't need to replace these members, either in the case of Temperstorm, let's change the roles, or let's just keep at this, employ a coach, and see what they can make of all this.
Yeah, and speaking of coaches, obviously, on the side of Team Liquid, they have someone like Zeus now, who seems to have had positive change, an impact on the team. But regardless, we are ready for game number 1 here in our first best of 5 of the Western Clash. Fnatic goes up against Team Liquid. This series is a big one, boys.
I don't know about you guys, but the fact that the map 1 is on Cursed Hollow is kind of a statement. I'm curious to see how Fnatic responds to the potential Vikings, whether they give the respect in the draft to ban it, or if they feel like the execution against Temperstorm had flaws and that they could play against it.
Yeah, I mean, for both teams, it's actually their top 3 pick when it comes to choosing those battlegrounds, and both repping a 69% win rate on this battleground in particular. But yeah, the big talking point is TLV has gone, Abathur's taken away.
Well, there we go.
Fnatic surely had to anticipate that.
I'm really curious to see how they respond. Abathur Genji in general is a very strong combination. Fnatic's obviously aware of that. They whipped it out at mid-season and just were unbelievably successful. I wonder how they're going to respond to that.
And let me point out that the reaction from the crowd then was loud when that Abathur got locked in.
Yeah.
So they know the power that Team Liquid has behind these kind of picks.
We heard the crowd here from 60 meters away, through 2 closed doors. Yeah, they're very excited to see the slug coming out. And you know, Fnatic, they need some time to think here, but when you think about it, this should have been one of the permutations that they would have considered. We spoke about it, Abathur and Vikings, these macro heroes.
I don't necessarily think them using their time pool is out of insecurity. I think it's more so like Fnatic just wants to take their time and just verify.
I think it's what do we take with the hacker.
Okay, wow. Yeah, okay. So they do identify that Genji Abathur would be too big of a problem to deal with, and Shwimpy, I think, is like undoubtedly the best Genji in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I was anticipating a Dahaga. It had to come, otherwise it was just going to get banned away. The Genji could have been a flex between that or the Greyman, but they feel that they have the potential to take that, and they want to deny it from the Abathur, which will now be empowering that Illidan.
I just want to point out the speed with which Team Liquid is picking is, so far, it's a really good thing with a small caveat. It's a really good thing because it shows that they've prepared for many different permutations, that nothing has surprised them so far, and that they're getting exactly what they want.
Yes.
But if you end up losing this match in a way that feels bad as Team Liquid, where your most carefully laid out plans do not come to fruition, then that is a difficult blow to absorb potentially.
Definitely. It feels like the Illidan locked in this early. You know, Dartmok is very keen about playing the hero, it feels. So for them to actually put him on a comfort as fast as possible seems like a strength for them. But as you mentioned, you know, there could be that if they do go blow for blow in this game and do lose out, that could stunt their growth.
Because now you're telling yourself, okay, we're getting exactly what we're wanting. This was our plan. Nice. Nice. And then if you lose, it's like, oh, well, our plans doesn't work. So it's very different from a random, spontaneous loss of a more organic draft.
I love the amount of respect we're seeing in the ban phase that Fnatic is showing to Team Liquid. Banning out the Lost Vikings shows a lot of respect to Haswabs and Team Liquid in general, and I feel like the Lunara ban reflects that as well. Not necessarily towards Hasu, but towards Team Liquid in general. They've forever prioritized Lunara. Like, thinking back again to the 2016 Spring Championship, they first started innovating that hero, and I've always stuck with it and loved it. I think it's really cool. Anubrock getting banned as well just inherent synergy with the Genji doesn't surprise me. Breeze is phenomenal at that hero.
I mean, Lunara on both sides has been not only like innovated, but also contested. You know, you mentioned with Team Liquid, it used to be that Stitches Lunara back in Tour, and then for Fnatic, remember the times of Tomb of the Spider Queen when they had the Lunara with that kind of solo Tassadar. Long time ago, but...
Yeah, I just want to bring the attention to the draft in terms of these next 2 picks for Fnatic. Oriel is still available. Cassia being a direct response also to the Illidan is still there. We've seen Quack play a lot of Gremlin, but recently transitioning into the Cassia as Illidan has risen in that popularity. And Oriel, I suppose with the Aegis, is a skill matchup against Illidan to deal with that hunt.
All right, what are we thinking now for Fnatic?
Yeah, I'm struggling. I don't know what the optimal picks here are from them. As far as the support game goes, most supports, yeah, Rhaegar, most supports in this situation are particularly vulnerable to Illidan Abathur. I do like the ETC though. It kind of like provides a bit of a safety net for the Rhaegar. The Illidan won't be able to easily access the backline when he has to deal with a Dahaka and an ETC.
Does it force more responses from Team Liquid than just a Brightwing now? Do they have to kind of pay more respect here to the ETC?
I mean, double support is something Team Liquid always likes.
Yep.
Brightwing doesn't have controllable healing that well. I do think we'll see another support coming out. Tassadar still available. Wouldn't be very surprising. Can even do Ariel and don't play tank, like Ariel and another damage dealer, potentially.
I'd love to see that. That would be very interesting.
They did that before, didn't they? They played that once in the Phase 2. Just with actually, I think it was Blumby on Tassadar, of all people.
One thing that I think is a bit suspect is ETC being picked on the 3-4 rotation. Yeah. I think it means Fnatic's hiding something. Alternatively, they'd want to hide their tank for last pick, but showing ETC early is really interesting. Oh, Tyrael is a hero we haven't seen at all this tournament so
Right,
far.
we're talking about the sanctification and how they can interact, but they seem to find that that's going to be the case here. Potentially just a direct response to the ETC looking just to sit on the point and deal out damage.
Just great on the map as well. I mean, I think we've seen Team Liquid in I think it was the previous Western Clash, I can't quite recall, going up against them and just controlling the bottom boss. Tyrael being a huge, huge factor about that. And that looks like some counter boss control potentially coming in with a Falstad.
Yeah, Holy Ground from Tyrael, his level 16 ability is boss control, so is Mighty Ghost for Falstad. And like Glaring was alluding to, the ETC pick in that rotation meant they wanted to flex their damage pick.
Yeah.
Because you have a choice. Do you counter the Abathur effect, or do you counter the Illidan effect? Cassia would be to counter Illidan, Falstad to counter Abathur.
Yep.
I love that
choices.
mentality.
Yeah.
The mentality of Fnatic throughout this entire draft is let's respect Liquid, let's see what they do, and let's be as reactive in the draft as we possibly can. So honestly, I love the way Fnatic approached this draft in Game 1.
All right, boys, I'm going to put you on the spot. It's getting serious now here in the tournament. What do we think of the draft? Who's coming out with the win in game number 1?
I mean, I'm just looking at the Fnatic draft. I think they've just got what they want, especially with Quack on the Falstad. He's always so comfortable on that hero, especially for the map. And we talk about the Tyrael with the Holy Ground, but I think with the Gust potential, the way Fnatic like to set up with the aggressiveness, I think they've got this one in the bag.
Grubby?
Yeah, I think Fnatic is the best team in the world at leveraging globals that we have ever seen. They have 2 of it. I think they're going to do great with it. I would like to believe in Team Liquid, but I do not feel a lot of power from their draft. I hope to be proven wrong and that we get a close game, but I think Fnatic.
Shot thoughts, Glau?
For me, I just feel like Fnatic, every single one of their players is on a comfort hero. And the fact that they were able to get 5 comfort heroes when showing so much respect to Team Liquid in the draft is so impressive. So I obviously favor Fnatic here, but Team Liquid can't count them out. They got a draft they wanted. They got the Abathur, they got the Illidan for Darkmok, and he's always got the chance to just put on a spectacular performance, but overall I favor Fnatic.
All right, thank you very much, boys. Check in with you later. For now, we are ready to go over to the commentary team here for game number 1 between Fnatic and Team Liquid.
Thank you, Caleris. A series that is both timeless and always amazing. We are getting Team Liquid versus Fnatic to kick off day number 2, and oh my gosh, Trixler, this crowd is so hyped for this match.
They are ready for it, and they should be. I think amazing is a great word to put on these 2 teams. They always go to the wire, always a Game 5. The last time these 2 met up, they went to Game 5 with Fnatic, just barely etching out. And we do have, from our analysis, a mention of Fnatic having a team of comforts here, and that's very, very true.
Definitely.
But the same thing could be said here for Team Liquid. Tychus, although he hasn't been in the meta for a while, he is a hero that Team Liquid runs exceptionally well. Remember in the first few weeks in HGC when Tychus fell down pretty hard and aggressively? Team Liquid was the only team still running him and getting a win consistently.
He'll be able to provide siege, but let's introduce our teams. In the blue, our reigning world champions from the mid-season brawl, we've got Fnatic with Smexy playing Rhaegar, Dahaka played by Wubby, Breeze playing ETC, Schwimpy playing Genji, and Quacknix playing Falstad.
And the right side in the red, it's going to be Team Liquid. Nurok on Tychus, Blumby on Tyrael, Splendor playing Brightwing, Darkmok on Illidan, and Hasuab on Abathur. And you've got to be excited for Darkmok on Illidan.
Always. Darkmok playing Illidan was one thing that really shined in the beginnings of Phase 2. They were getting a lot of picks or kills with him early on, and the aggression that Team Liquid can provide when they get this kind of draft is impeccable. And I wanted to ask, we talked about Sanctification. Do you think there's any room that we have something like a Hunt plus Judgment versus what Fnatic have? Obviously, there is the Rhaegar for a cleanse.
There is a possibility. Granted, the cleanse is definitely a big deterrent and one that you have to be aware of. Also, ETC being there as a disruption to prevent the opposing team from walking forward can be a deterrent. Sanctification is probably the way to go. It just really helps and bolster that Illidan, diving forward, jumping onto a member, diving in, getting that Sanctification to keep them alive for a long time and allow Brightwing to get out a couple more heals. However, there is always a thought process of a Judgment into a Hunt, into a Polymorph follow-up as well. If you can have the coordination, which Team Liquid does, you can get a pick-off.
Nice Polymorph to make sure to stop the aggression on Darkmok as we start out with the laning phase on Cursed Hollow. And that Tychus pick is going to really help when it comes to sieging down structures when they decide it's time to siege. Now Breeze is starting to come in. Darkmok sniffs this out. So far staying safe along with Splendor. Team Liquid trying to make sure that they don't lose anybody in this vulnerable time, but oh no, Splendor's been caught.
Breeze came in with the power slide, and Quacknix with the perfect setup on the hammering comes in and applies pressure, and Brightwing will fall. Now, she'll be able to phase shift back in. Splendor will be back, but still First Blood and a tempo has been set by Fnatic, and this is one of the things that can really make them excel. They do it in a majority of their matches. They come out and get aggressive kills with ETC, which can really make you sit back and play a little bit more reclined as a team. And Team Liquid, they don't really want to do much until level 10 anyways.
Yeah, there has not been a lot of ETC play since his change to Rockstar, not giving attack speed anymore, but instead giving him that armor. But here and again, we are seeing it, and Fnatic specifically said they believe that this hero would rise. And whether it's because Breeze is such a beast on this hero, or they really do believe that with some of the changes that have come in, the nerfs to a new Barak before, that he is going to start to make his way back into the meta. Yeah,
ETC in the last couple of weeks of HGC Europe has started to make a bit of a resurgence. We've seen him more and more, and I expect to see him more here in the MSB with multiple EU teams going into the top ranks of the entire matches. Now let's talk about this while we have a second, about what Team Liquid wants to achieve this entire tournament this weekend. They talked about multiple goals. First off, do not lose to North America.
Check.
Check, they've done that. Next, beat Fnatic, and that's what they're in the middle of progress of doing right now. If they beat Fnatic, they'll be moving on to their next goal, which they want to get to top 3 in this tournament. So Team Liquid has goals set up. Can they handle Fnatic and the pressure they've had the last few weeks?
Team Liquid, ever since not qualifying for the mid-season brawl, has had a rough time of it. Mentally, they haven't always been there together, sort of sometimes even not necessarily at each other's throats, but not finding the same kind of synergy with each other that they've had before in the past. But having a boot camp and a reset in mentality, as well as getting their coach in Zeus, has really helped them start to find some consistency. And they believe that they're going to show a lot of consistency here at this event because they feel like they just open up so much more as a team when they play on a LAN. They love playing in front of a crowd.
That is very true. And let's go ahead and talk about strategy here for a second. This tribute's been up for about 40 seconds in the top right corner. So far, with the poke coming in from Brightwing, and of course Tyrael being in that top lane as well, they've had the ability to slow down Fnatic's grabbing at the tribute. But Fnatic, realizing that they were going to be slowed down because of Brightwing's poke, of course the level 4 talent Erratic Reforging being picked up by Tyrael, they decided to put all 3 members in the top lane, break down some turrets instead, and force Team Liquid to come defend that and grab that tribute. Both teams playing at a very high level, and Fnatic getting the edge on that trip.
Yeah, and Fnatic still maintaining an experience advantage, even though that Team Liquid did have both Abathur trying to soak as well as some of the other members, but having Wubby being able to not have to stock in has been invaluable to them, and being able to take out those turrets, giving them just a slight advantage to level 7 faster, but Quacknix gets caught. Team Liquid has Blumby along with the Abathur hat, and they get the kill.
Loving it. Blow for both of our teams. And this will give an opportunity for Team Liquid to make an aggressive maneuver down here at the bottom. They dive past the turret and break down both of them. But here's Breeze on the rotation in for a flank. Can he get Splendor? Splendor's low in health, and Splendor will fall, but here comes Genji as well as Darkmok is trying to make it a trade.
He was hoping that he could trade it out, but Genji getting in just in time, and Breeze with his perfect control once again with ETC. Darkmok goes in one last time, but the drag connects, and Wubby takes him out.
Wubby read him like a book, man. He went to the library and he teched out out Darkmok, and he was able to pick up the drag, pull him underneath the tower, and get the kill. Fnatic earning 2 kills there, now up 3-1, and we also had a second tribute spawn during there. Team Liquid did grab it, but they have to watch out the top.
Gosh, these drags, once again, Wubby just goes in, finds Tychus too, and Splinter can't get there in time, trying to get the heals, hoping that he can keep Nurok alive. Splinter is doing his absolute best, but Fnatic playing this type of style that we know they love to play so well. They're everywhere.
They thrive in chaos, and you see the results. 9.5 in experience soon here for them, while Team Liquid is at 8.5. Team Liquid will have a chance here to maybe fight for the next tribute, but if it doesn't come soon enough, they may have to give it up, and they're going to be in a really poor spot where a boss can be ran down by Fnatic, they can force a fort with their multiple globals, or even move in for an aggressive play to pick off members of Team Liquid.
Team Liquid at least are using the fact that they have Illidan as a mercenary hero along with Immolation to try to get some mercenary presence on the battleground for that tribute, but it's not coming in time, and Fnatic are dangerously close to heroic abilities and just as it spawns. It is in a location that suits Fnatic really well, and Fnatic are going to get their bruisers as well, but Team Liquid will just have to stay in the lanes and work their way toward heroics.
Oh, I love this. Fnatic in the top right, they have Wubby checking out the boss.
Yes.
Typically, one of the major plays that will happen here is that you know your opponent is ahead, and they're going to move in for their own boss. So you'll try and sneak yours on the side. So Wubby being in the top right corner automatically deters that from happening. Fnatic now has the chance to do whatever they would like on the map. They still have a little bit more time here before that 10 hits with Team Liquid.
Wubby's trying to scare away Splendor as best as he can, but he's the one who will be hit by the collapse. Blumby hoping for body blocks. Darkmonk's going to come in to help along with that too. He's starting the Essence to be able to heal himself back up. Emerald win, but he burrows to get away. Polymorph coming in just slightly too late. Wubby will stay alive.
Team Liquid making a couple mistakes in that fight, and also the massive burrow from Wubby was enough to turn it around. They wasted Emerald win and Hunt on Wubby right when he burrowed down. And now Fnatic hoping to turn it around, comes up in the top right corner, puts pressure on Team Liquid and gets them behind underneath their forts.
And Trixler all this time in the bottom lane, Smexy and Quacknix have been bringing the siege against Nurok, keeping him back, taking out a tower and furthering their lead. They've got Breeze in the mid, never overcommitting resources, doing just enough to cause chaos for Team Liquid, maybe burn some resources like Emerald Wen, like the Hunt, and then meanwhile, they have their sights set on bigger goals, taking out structures and opening up a win condition.
Well, they have one more goal they can try and achieve here, as they can move in for the tribute that has spawned, and they're already aggressively positioning to grab the tribute. Blumby will be here on the right with Brightwing phase shifting in and Abathur Hat to be able to help deter that, slow it down for the moment, while Quacknix begins the channel.
Nurok's hoping that he can go off to the side. Smexy is there and sees this, and Quacknix could turn. In fact, they do with the Gust turnaround, take him out before the Odin could drop.
Ty gets blown up there. Hostile to be on the back left of the Abathur clone, but they're looking at Illidan. They hit the isolation on him. He can't escape here. Finally, he's able to get away at the last second here, keeping in the retreat, and Fnatic will push Team Liquid off of the tribute and start the channel.
Hasselhoff has done his very best to delay this even longer, but it's still 8 seconds until Tychus is back. Fnatic gets a curse, the first curse of the game going to them, and let's see how much they can do with it.
Oh man, it's going to be a difficult defense, especially with all the globals being on the field. You're already seeing Fnatic spread out. Wubby's in the middle. He can rotate the top here after he clears out the lane if he would like. You have False that can flow into the fight as well. Genji and HGC next to each other. They're breaking down these forts, and they're opening up the map, which makes globals that much better.
Yeah, they can use all of those globals. They just want to make sure they don't get spread too thin, and Team Liquid find a place where they can hunt in along with Brightwing. There's still a possibility that Team Liquid can catch people, and Fnatic have enough of a lead that they don't want to start sacrificing people for staggered deaths as death timers get longer. They're going to use 4 people to siege down in the bottom. They have Wubby hanging out, trying to push the lanes between mid and top, but making sure that they keep several members together so they don't get caught by the picks of Team Liquid.
Fnatic has a massive lead right now, 13-12, a full talent advantage, about to break down another fort in the top right, which will be great for them. Now, don't forget, Team Liquid has that 10 power spike, but they also get better with 13 and level 16. Abathur and Illidan synergize very well, their talents becoming unlocked. Ooh, man, a third fort even be taken down here as Fnatic takes this curse and they run away with it. Wow, well done by them.
With 13 advantage, they can step right toward their boss. The Nests are going to show this heading straight in to the boss, but what can Team Liquid really do? They are getting closer to 13, and 13 isn't the end-all be-all for fighting against a talent tier, so it may be that they feel like they have to fight here before they start losing out too much more.
Well, they have a really good poke here, so they're able to keep harassing Fnatic, so Abathur can work on that 13.
Yeah.
His body's looking in the middle, he can look to the top there and soak with a hat as well. So Team Liquid does not mind disrupting Fnatic, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. Look at this, Fnatic's hoping to even move in for an engage. Breeze came around for a flank, but Team Liquid does not give them the opportunity. Finally, Fnatic starts the boss. This is a bait. Team Liquid, come fight us before 13 hits.
Now Wubby goes out for the drag. Narok gets away from it just in time, and again, Team Liquid know that they've pulled Fnatic off of the boss. It's going to be spotted, but Blumby is spotted by all of Fnatic, and again, the isolation comp with the mosh pit and the gust takes out Tyrael.
That mosh was pivotal. You wanted to stop its invocation, and they find a bright wing too as the Fairy Dragon will fall. Her wings getting destroyed there, and Illidan just runs the top right corner for Team Liquid. This is their only chance to make something happen. Maybe moving for the boss or the Night Camp. They decided maybe the boss is a bit too much, and they got the Night Camp instead.
Yeah, they never know if Fnatic might have wanted to rotate back around instead, and Dahaka is hanging out, checking to see if that's the case. He's going to head straight up to the boss to check on that. Not seeing that there, they know exactly where Team Liquid are, but Trixler, you can see one of the biggest strengths of Fnatic, if not the biggest, is they have the ability to take out any target they find. Their synergy and their ability to execute, their patience with heroics, knowing exactly how many resources need to be used, they always end up getting the pick that they go after. And that's not always the case with teams. It's something that Fnatic excels at. They know they can do this no matter if it's a Brightwing or an even tankier tank than Tyrael.
Yeah, a lot of teams wait for opportunities, but Fnatic, they create opportunities. They've done it time and time again, and they're doing it here against Team Liquid. Now, Team Liquid, although we did have Tyrael die earlier, the good news is he didn't use Sanctification. So there is a chance for them to move in here and fight for this boss, and Team Liquid will do so. They're here on the left. Mighty Gust is up and available, so that Sanctification will have to be on point.
But that does mean that there is
Odin.
only Giants and Abathur defending versus the boss for now. Odin drops down, and we've got the Clone 2 Sanctification on the point. But the boss hasn't been taken down yet. Ancestral Healing keeps Schwimpy alive. He may be looking for resets here, Trixler.
They're moving straight on in. Blumby on the left side. Big splice from Genji, though. He's bringing two out. Emerald Wind will be used. Blumby trying to go for it, but Breeze will knock back Tyrael.
Ice Block will not be able to save you this time. Splendor, 3 kills already. Only Narok and, of course, Abathur surviving. Smexy goes in for the butt fight, drops down the Earth Breast Totem. Narok's blown up.
All 4 members down for Team Liquid. Only an Abathur left. One lone slug. 16 of 14, and Fnatic is beating on the wall here in the top right corner of the keep for Team Liquid. And they're going to be able to spawn, but can they defend this push to the keep?
I just don't know. They are 3 levels behind now at this point. They've used a lot of heroic abilities. There's no Sanctification. There's no Odin to try to poke down some of the members, look for holes, look to take somebody out. The keep will go down. The first keep of the game being taken out, opening up a way to the core for Fnatic.
That's right, and Fnatic will take their advantage, and they don't mind moving across the map here. They don't have to force anything here. They'll force fights in the open where their globals can excel. Team Liquid defends the boss, but they are down a keep, down a 2. They want to get 16 before the next tribute is. The next tribute will be spawning, but they can give it up. Don't worry about it. Wait till you have that 16. Fight on even levels against your opponent.
The issue for Team Liquid is that they do have this Abathur and they are going to hunt in on top of Dahaka, hoping that they can get the kill on that and start getting some of that comeback experience. But again, Wubby with these miracle drags, the Gust almost not making it, but again, a perfect mosh pit. Darkmonk's taken out, another is caught, and Splendor will be a next kill, 13 kills to 2.
Oh man, I could see what they were trying to go for. A high risk play there, trying to go in on your opponents. But the thing is, Dahaka was right next to his fort. He had a place to escape to, and I know you're in the late game Bower Spikes, where you can maybe die those forts, but maybe a little bit too ambitious there from Team Liquid, and Fnatic pounced right away. They're looking for another kill. If they get one more, that could be game.
Oh my goodness. Just the level of execution for Fnatic, that the drag comes out, Blumby's able to dodge that, but immediately Breeze comes in afterwards saying, fine, if we don't catch you with the drag, we will get you with the power slide. Thankfully, Blumby does have some escape. He has Eldruin. He has his own shielding and movement speed from Smite. They know that if they can catch Fnatic, where Fnatic are closer to their base, they have a chase comp where they can try to chase down for a long time.
Sure.
Once they get 16, Holy Ground is going to help so much more with that as well.
Yes, that's the big point. Holy Ground at level 16. It can be the difference between Team Liquid winning or losing a team fight, and they're trying to get that 16. They finally do get it with Abathur soaking. Can they delay Smexy? Smexy is not going to be delayed. He grabs this tribute, but the Holy Ground comes in. Team Liquid thinks it's their chance.
This is the chance that they have to take. They've already lost a keep, and they're looking for the kill. But meanwhile, Abathur has already gone down. Schwimpy feeling very confident to move in. Splendor has to burn Emerald Wind to disengage.
Abathur just died to Giants in the top lane. Unfortunate for him. He was trying to soak with his body and gets picked off, and Team Liquid is down a member here. Every person getting low for Team Liquid. Fnatic going for the chase, and here is Schwimpy as he swift right in.
Schwimpy takes out 2. Brightwing and Narok are down. The keep is falling. It was already low. Illidan's going to deal with the pressure in the top lane, but without the 3-level lead and 3 people down for 10 seconds at least until Abathur's back. Fnatic are confident to move on to the core and make their way to a win in Game 1.
And they should be confident here. What is Blumby gonna do? The core starts to fall down to 40, down to 30, down to 20, and Fnatic in this best of 5 series will gain the first victory here against Team Liquid.
Team Liquid drafted very quickly throughout. A lot of fast picks, showing that they had made a lot of plans, but the best laid plans versus Fnatic are not a guarantee, and Fnatic just proved that in a scary way.
I mean, Fnatic even got 3 kills to 1 before level 10. It's expected against an Avatar composition. You're not going to have the best early game possible. I felt like Team Liquid actually handled themselves